morning, this is Francesca Evans from LymeOnline, bringing you your weekly news, sport, weather and what's on update for the Lyme Regis area. Lyme Regis landlord Tom Littledyke has spoken openly about his terrifying and heartbreaking experiences in Ukraine ahead of a return trip to the war-torn country next week. The former Royal Marine Reservist drove more than 1,000 miles to Ukraine at the beginning of March to deliver supplies and then helped to ferry refugees out of the country in his minibus. He described his experiences at a meeting this week and spoke about his pride in his hometown of Lyme Regis for its support.
This is gorgeous to see how much the UK want to do something, and you're all here because you want to help. It's not far away. It really isn't that far away. It's 1,200 miles away. And these are people who want nothing to do with a war. These are children, these are mothers, these are fathers, these are all sorts of people that want nothing to do with a war. And I just want to say thank you to all of you, and anybody that's checking in on Facebook, thank you as well. We've managed to raise £18,500 on the Just Giving page. That's 514 people who have donated money. That's not a lot of people for the number of how much money we've got. It's insane to think about that. We'd asked for £750. We thought that would make a massive contribution towards fuel, extra donations that we can buy wholesale in Poland. We thought that would be more than enough to help. By the time we'd woken up, it was already at £1,000. People clearly want to help. People want something to do with this. They want to make a difference. And again, that's why you're all here. And I have to thank you again. Like, this is what's happening. This is what's going to change everything. We dropped off the minibus on the high street, as a lot of you know, and within 2 hours the minibus was full. Like, Lyme Regis came together. I am gobsmacked and incredibly proud of my town, Lyme Regis, just coming together. I mean, there were people from here as well, of course, who managed to drive down and drop stuff off there, but they had no idea what was going on. But the minibus was full and we managed to take it across. Again, Lyme Regis community and this surrounding community of Bridport and everywhere, I've seen how much we've been collecting, and it's astonishing. And people have really put thought into it. They've not just dropped off a bag of junk. They've not just gone through their cupboard and gone, oh, I don't need that anymore. There you go. They've really thought about it. They've concentrated on what they're bringing, and they've brought it to us. And we will make sure it gets to where it needs to get.
Residents have donated huge amounts of supplies packed into boxes by volunteers this week and have helped Tom raise more than £18,000 for aid for the Ukrainian people. During the meeting this week, Tom recruited volunteers to join him on another humanitarian trip to provide further aid next week. A convoy of vehicles is now expected to leave the Shave Cross Inn near Bridport for Ukraine at 12 noon on Monday. Hotel chain Travelodge has listed the Lyme Regis and Seaton area as one of its target areas as it looks to further expand its property portfolio. More than 80 new travel lodges have been opened across Great Britain in the past 5 years, and the company is now looking for new development opportunities. The announcement has led to speculation that the dilapidated former Three Cups Hotel in Lyme Regis Town Centre could be a potential location, having stood empty for more than 30 years. But owners Palmer's Brewery show no sign of selling up and have said their own development plans for the Three Cups are now back on the cards, having recovered from the coronavirus pandemic. It is hoped the original building will be developed into shops and apartments above, with a restaurant and letting rooms behind. Palmer's says it has now re-engaged its consultant team to move the project forward, and in the meantime, scaffolding is expected to be erected outside the building shortly to clear the gutters and avoid any further damage to the building. Lyme Regis Development Trust has relaunched its community cafe at the Hub in Church Street, which will now be open to all 2 days a week. Known as the Old Schoolhouse Cafe, the community cafe will be open every Thursday and Friday from 9 AM to 1 PM, offering affordable hot drinks, snacks including toasties, pastries and cakes, and free Wi-Fi. Today, the volunteer-led cafe will be donating its proceeds to those in need in Ukraine. Election candidates for vacancies on both Lyme Regis Town Council and Dorset Council are expected to be announced today. The vacancies have arisen following the death of Town Councillor Stan Williams and the resignation of County Councillor Darryl Turner. Candidates will be listed on the LymeOnline website when the announcement is made, and the election will then be held on Thursday, April 7th. And now for sport. As expected, the weather played havoc with last weekend's football programme. Lyme Regis first team had a free afternoon, but the reserves home game against Exeter United in Division 3 of the Devon and Exeter League was called off because the Davy Fort was not playable after a week of heavy rainfall. Only one of the Lyme sides will be in action again this weekend. The reserves don't have a fixture, but the first team will be travelling deep into Devon for their East Devon Senior Cup match at Premier Division leaders Lapford. The Seasiders are one of only 2 teams to have taken points off Lapford this season, and manager Julian Simier will be hoping to field his strongest side. Lyme has been in top form in recent games after an erratic start to the season and are more than capable of pulling off a surprise victory if they can retain their good form against the unbeaten Premier champions. The following week, the first team are at home to Kentisbeare, the side above them in the Premier Division, and a crucial fixture for the Seasiders in their bid for a top 4 finish to the season. Despite their poor showing in their last match in Division 3, Uplyme First retained their 3rd spot and tomorrow travel to Bickley, who are several places below them in the table. Charmouth, who only need 1 point from their remaining games to win promotion to Division 1 in their first season back in the Perry Street League, are on cup duty tomorrow away to Charge United reserves in the Tommy Tabbera Cup, a competition in which they have a fine record. Weather-wise, the cricket season seems a long way off, but Uplyme and Lyme Regis players have already started their winter nets at Colleton Sports Centre and are looking forward to the start of the Devon League, in which they will compete in C Division East after last season's promotion. Uplyme will also be shortly welcoming an overseas player to the King George V playing field, a fast bowler who plays for their twin club Deepdene Bears in Melbourne. Uplyme have also entered a side in the East Devon Bash T20 tournament, which will start in May, sponsored by LymeOnline and Nub News. The Old Schoolhouse Cafe will be open at the Hub today until 1 p.m, while Lyme Regis U3A and guests will enjoy a virtual tour of Mapperton House in their latest Zoom meeting at 11 a.m. On Saturday, 2 of the most acclaimed jazz artists on the UK music scene, vocalist Claire Martin and pianist David Newton, will grace the stage of the Marine Theatre with doors opening at 7 p.m, while the Nag's Head will be hosting its weekly live music from 9 p.m. On Sunday, B Sharp will host its mentoring sessions for young performers and bands from 12 noon at the Marine Theatre, followed at 3 p.m. by a chance for them to perform publicly in the Young Creatives Sunday session. The Marine will then host its monthly Jazz in the Bar night from 7 p.m. It's set to be a dull weekend weather-wise, with strong winds and heavy rain forecast throughout the day today, and lighter showers expected to continue for the majority of the weekend. Temperatures are set to reach highs of 11 degrees. Thanks for watching LymeOnline's video news bulletins. Don't forget to visit our website for the latest local news throughout the week, or you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Have a great weekend.